Since the 1960s, the Kingdom of Cambodia has been in crisis. The country's pseudo-democratic system has been no match for its authoritarian government, and the population is one of the poorest in the region. Recent decades have seen war, genocide, and invasion, and some historians blame none other than the United States for the country's many tragedies. So, why does Cambodia hate the US? Well, Cambodia's long-term struggle largely stems from their involvement, or really lack of involvement, during the Cold War. While communists backed by the Soviet Union and anti-communists backed by the United States fought for control in Vietnam, Cambodia declared itself neutral. But its government allowed Vietnamese communists to use the border region as a supply route and safe zone, which proved to be a huge mistake. Why? Well, at the time, the Vietnam War was incredibly unpopular in the United States, and it was viewed as an ideological war, not one that would benefit Americans. By the time Richard Nixon took office in 1969, the US was already in the process of withdrawing troops from the conflict and had scaled back bombing in the region. But Nixon and his national security advisor, Henry Kissinger, were committed to prolonging the war in hopes of defeating the communists. They sought to find another way to keep fighting without a heavy presence in Vietnam and without making it seem as though they were ramping up military operations. Their solution was to effectively hijack the United States military and secretly and illegally bomb Vietnamese forces hiding in Cambodia, a country with which the US was not at war. Operation Menu, the first of two major bombing campaigns, was even kept secret from Congress. According to an expose by New York Times writer Seymour Hersh, in order to accomplish this, Kissinger and high-ranking military members created fake flight plans for bombers in Vietnam and then destroyed all evidence of their actual bombing targets in Cambodia. They even allegedly used a specially designated furnace to destroy records, according to testimony from the head of American military operations in Vietnam. From 1969 to 1973, the US dropped 500,000 tons of bombs on Cambodia, killing more than 100,000 civilians. Overall, the US dropped 6 million tons of bombs on Southeast Asia, which decimated the region and forged extreme resentment against anti-communist forces. Many historians believe that this resentment created a power vacuum for a disruptive and deadly regime to seize power in Cambodia. The Khmer Rouge was just that, a militant regime violently seeking power. They emerged from the very same North Vietnamese communist forces the US had been trying to disrupt. Just 2 years after the end of the secretive bombing raids, the Khmer Rouge began a Cambodian genocide. From 1975 to 1979, they killed between 1.5 and 3 million civilians, or about 25% of the population. The US's illegal bombing campaign never quite saw the same level of coverage as the concurrent Watergate scandal that took down Richard Nixon. Ironically, before the bombing was revealed, Kissinger even received a Nobel Peace Prize for bringing peace to Vietnam. He actually attempted to return the prize 2 years later when communist forces ultimately took over Vietnam. Today, opinion on Kissinger is split between seeing him as a war criminal versus a powerful foreign policy leader. Although relations have somewhat normalized since the 1970s, the deadly history between the US and Cambodia has left a dark stain on America's reputation and the Cambodian population. While there's plenty of debate as to the influence and extent of the US's illegal actions, the lasting scars of war remain. Another country where the United States covertly attempted to eliminate communism was Venezuela, and today, Venezuela is devolving into a dictatorship. Check out this video to learn about what exactly is going on in the South American country, and thanks for watching Now This World. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more episodes every week.